show you how to run this Hunter TC3250 machine. These are a little different than the machines you've all used so far. There's a couple different aspects, the most obvious of which is going to be this clamp. This is called a tulip clamp. It's very different than the rim clamp you guys have all been using. Same basic idea, but it clamps a little bit differently. The job is basically the same with this machine. You will notice there are a couple differences. First, you'll see there are only two pedals in the front of the machine. The left-hand pedal operates the clamp. You step on the pedal, it opens the clamp. If you pick up on the pedal, it closes the clamp. Be sure not to close this clamp all the way until it bottoms out, or open it all the way until it stalls. This pedal on the right rotates the table. If you step on it, it rotates clockwise. Pick up on it, rotates clockwise. It also operates our bead shovel. All right, so there's no separate shovel pedal for this particular machine. Another difference with this machine is our demount head is made out of Zytel. So unlike the other machines that are all metal, this one's plastic. Now, that's good and bad. It's designed so we don't damage the wheel and tire. If you don't keep the bead in the drop center, instead of tearing the bead, it'll break the head. So here's a broken one. This is what happens when you don't hold that bead down in the drop center. The good part is these are cheap. Tires are expensive. So if you do happen to have that pop up on you, the head will fail before the tire does. So we'll go ahead and walk you through the job. It's very similar to the other machines you've used, but there are a few minor differences. So we'll grab our wheel and tire assembly here. Take our valve core out. Come over here to our shovel. So again, very similar to the other shovels. I'm going to step on my rotate pedal, separate my bead to wheel interface. If it doesn't break all the way around, we'll rotate it. This particular wheel and tire assembly does not have a tire pressure monitor in it, so I don't have to worry about breaking it. Break our back bead. Next thing we're going to want to do is lubricate our bead. That front bead's broken all the way around. So we're going to place our wheel up onto our tulip clamp. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place these pads on this flat portion of the wheel before we hit the drop center. So I'm going to set wheel and tire up on the table, press down. I'm looking through the wheel at those pads. When I'm happy with my placement, we'll step on the clamp pedal till those clamps come out. Clamp the wheel against the machine. Again, once it's tight, take your foot off the pedal. If you've got a real lightweight wheel and tire assembly, you've got a real light forged wheel or something, you don't want to apply a ton of pressure. I can, when I clamp this, just clamp until they just stop. So I'm not applying a lot of pressure to the wheel. On the steel wheel, it makes no difference, so I'm going to clamp it down real tight. So to bring our mount and demount head down, just going to grab a hold of the arm here and it just swings down. All right, there is a knob on the side here that allows me to change the position of this arm. Okay, you'll see if I pull this out, I can put this in different positions. That's for different diameter wheels. When I bring this down, I want this portion of the arm about 90 degrees with the face of the wheel. On a bigger wheel, I'm going to need to move this arm further back to get that same 90 degrees. So we now have our mount demount head against our wheel. We'll get our bead lever. Just like the other machines, in between our bead and our mount demount head, we're going to press down on the bead opposite the mount demount head to place it in the drop center. I'm going to pull the bead lever up, and I'm going to pull that bead up over the mount demount head, being careful not to jab the sidewall. We'll simply step on the rotate pedal, spin our tire off. Same thing on the bottom bead. And our tire is now removed from the wheel. Now, remounting is the exact same procedure as the other machines. Over and under on our mount demount head. Give our tire a twist so it's locked onto the wheel. And simply rotate the tire. Now, when I put the top bead on, I'm going to use this bead roller here. What that's going to do is it's going to hold my bead in the correct orientation on this mount demount head. That'll keep that bead under here. We're going to press, rotate, again keeping our bead in our drop center, and spin our tire on. To seat the bead, it's going to be the same procedure as any other machine. We're going to take our filler hose attached to our valve stem. Again, it's a two-stage pedal. All the way down is going to give us an air blast from the bottom. Halfway down is going to fill through the hose. Now this tire has a fairly tight bead interface, so when it lets loose, it gives us a good bang. All right. A couple of other features of this machine that I didn't mention. You'll notice we have an arm here. This just allows me extra leverage. If I'm trying to hold this down against the wheel, I can use this bar. I have this arm back here. If you've got a tire where once you've broken the beads and the bottom bead pops back on, we can place this under the tire, pick up and step on the rotate pedal, and that'll separate that bottom bead from the wheel again. Other than that, guys, this particular machine is fairly similar to what you've been using, with the obvious exceptions of the clamp being a little bit different, and we do have our Zytel mount demount head. So, to unclamp, we're simply going to place our foot under the clamp pedal and pick up, and remove our tire and wheel from the machine. And that is the basics of the Hunter TC3250 tire machine.